Russian President Vladimir Putin invoked the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany to rally support for the Ukraine offensive during a grand military parade in Moscow on Friday, May 9th. The Kremlin used the annual Victory Day parade, marking 80 years since World War II ended, to boost patriotism at home and show strength abroad as its troops fight in Ukraine. More than 20 foreign leaders, including China's President Xi Jinping, attended the event in Red Square. This was the fourth parade since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Putin said, "The whole country, society, and people support the participants of the special military operation, using the Kremlin's term for the Ukraine campaign." State media reported that about 1,500 troops who fought in Ukraine were among the 11,000 marching in Red Square. "We are proud of their bravery and determination, of the fortitude that has always brought us victory," Putin said. Ukraine called the parade a parade of cynicism. Putin sat next to Xi as the parade began and was seen shaking hands with World War II veterans. Since the invasion, Putin has often compared Russia's army to Soviet soldiers who fought Nazi Germany. He said Russia has been and will remain an indestructible barrier against Nazism, Russophobia, and anti-Semitism, echoing the language used to justify the Ukraine war. Moscow was decorated with red flags and signs saying victory for the occasion. Vladimir, 40, who visited with his pregnant wife and friends, said, "The holiday makes us proud of our country." At a dinner for visiting leaders the night before, Putin toasted victory. Russia began the assault on Ukraine in February 2022, expecting a quick victory, but the conflict has since turned into a long, deadly war. Security was tight in Moscow, with mobile internet connections jammed to prevent Ukrainian attacks. Putin declared a 3-day truce in Ukraine for the holiday, but Kiev called it political theater and accused Russia of violating the ceasefire hundreds of times. Overnight, Kiev reported strikes in the southern city of Kherson and the Dnipropetrovsk region, wounding 2 people. In western Russia's Belgorod region, authorities said a Ukrainian drone hit the city council building, with no injuries. Kiev said the parade has nothing to do with the victory over Nazism and suggested those marching in Red Square may be involved in crimes against Ukrainians. The most important guests this year were China's Xi and Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico, despite criticism from Brussels, was the only European Union leader attending. Serbia's President Aleksandar Vučić, from a country with close ties to Moscow, was also present. The day before the parade, Xi and Putin met in the Kremlin for over 3 hours, sending messages of defiance to the West. In Russia, World War II is called the Great Patriotic War, starting with Germany's surprise invasion in 1941. The earlier period, from 1939 to 1941, when the Soviet Union had a pact with Nazi Germany and invaded Poland, is largely ignored in official history. The war caused immense suffering, with over 20 million Soviet civilian and military deaths. Putin has used this history to make May 9th Russia's most important holiday and to portray his army as defenders against fascism. Since the Ukraine invasion began, authorities have banned military criticism and charged thousands, marking the largest crackdown in Russia's post-Soviet history. Meanwhile, in a symbolic show of support for Kyiv, Western backers of Ukraine are expected to approve the creation of a special tribunal to try Russia's top leaders for the war at a meeting in Lviv on Friday.